been asked to explain some basic spinning information that doesn't always necessarily get a good explanation, especially for a self-taught beginning spinner. So this is my fiber source. This is some prepared top that came from sheep spot, and this particular breed is Cheviot. And sheep have breeds just like dogs and cats and everything else. So this one happens to originate from the United Kingdom in the Cheviot Hills, and it's dyed a particularly lovely color. And this section here where it's all twisted together, this is the yarn I am creating, and this is my fiber source. You notice I keep my fingers pinched on this. That's because if I don't, the twist will migrate into the untwisted fibers. And I am using what is called short forward draw or short forward draft, which means simply that I am pulling the yarn towards me as I insert twist with my spindle. So I am spinning my spindle clockwise. This is going to put Z twist into my singles, so I'm going to spin it. Then I pinch here and I pull a little bit more out. And as the spindle goes, it will add more twist to the fibers that I have selected. And I'm not giving it a great big spin because I'm trying to demonstrate. But the trick is that you pinch up here and let the twist migrate into the selected fibers. If you don't pinch up here and you just draft like this, what you're doing is allowing the twist to run up into the fiber source, and it is selecting how wide your piece of yarn will be by the amount of fibers that get caught into the twist. A lot of times this is where you get consistency issues, is that it's picking different amounts every time. So you want to make sure that whatever you pull forward is about the same amount each time. The other thing that you need to know is staple length. Let me stop the spindle and I shall explain. Each hair of this fiber is a certain length, and you can determine how long that is by pinching one end and pulling a single set of fibers away. And if you take that and measure it, that will be your staple length. In this case, it's about the length of my fingers. So 2.5 inches, maybe 3 inches if I'm being generous. And what you want to do as you're drafting is that you want to pull 1/2 to 3/4 of the length of this fiber out of the source each time, so that you're not drafting the full length of your fiber. Let me pick up my spindle. This is why it's called a drop spindle. You should also not be afraid of having your fibers separate and rejoining. All I'm going to do is lay my yarn into my fiber source. Oh, I'm going to spin into my fiber source. That's a grand plan. All right. And then start spinning again and let the twist wrap the fibers around the yarn. And there we go. So each time I'm drafting out about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, no more than that, of fiber each and every time. Now I need to wind this on because it's gotten too long for me to manipulate. I am using a Turkish spindle, so it's wound in a particular pattern of over 2 arms and under 1, always beside the previous layer. Over 2 and under 1. And I have another video on using the Turkish spindle. This just happens to be the project I have going at the moment. When I get it wound on, I secure it with a 1/2 hitch and start again. So draft forward, let the twist run into it. Draft forward, let the twist run into it. If you have trouble manipulating the draft, the twist, and the spin of the spindle all at the same time, you can try what is called park and draft. And what that means is that you take your spindle and you put some twist into this, and then stop it. Now I can draft and let some of that twist migrate into it as I go. This gives you a little bit more time to manipulate all of the moving parts, and then you can just go on again and keep spinning. A lot of people sort of start with park and draft, and eventually you just kind of automatically find yourself going to drafting regularly. I hope this answered the beginning questions that you had. If not, feel free to leave me a comment, send me a note, and I will do my best to address any other questions.